Are you a new homeschool parent that is wondering how you do the whole elective thing? Or are you a homeschool parent that's like, okay, we've got everything else established. Let's see what else we can do. In this video, I'm going to be talking about 5 ways you can create your own homeschool curriculum and homeschool electives. So let's go. First of all, let's go ahead and talk about what electives are. Electives are just classes that your kid would pick to take because they're interested in those classes. And so they are usually only offered if they have a teacher available to teach those classes. You know what I mean? In public school, that's what we're talking about. But right now, we're talking about homeschool electives where you have the freedom to learn about anything. And that can be daunting. So what you're going to use to know what to talk about or know what to incorporate into your homeschool schedule is your kids' interests and also things that are valuable to you that you think will help them in the future, because you're the parent and you're the one trying to raise this person for a future we don't know about, and you have your own discernment on what is important. So whatever it is that your kid is passionate about and that you feel is important too, but you always got to remember that if it's your passion, like you are a dancer and you want to live vicariously through your kid and that's not their thing, you can't push that thing. Okay, so the first tip that I have for you to make your own homeschool curriculum for homeschool electives is to expose them to a lot of things. There are many ways that you can do this. There are so many free classes that, people offer online or even in person, like as a trial class, coding classes, dance classes, sports, all these things that you can sign up for and just see if your kid likes it. But that can be overwhelming, especially if you're like, free trials, let's do them all. That can be way too much. But another just low-key way of doing this and exposing your kids to a lot of things is going and reading books about it. Let's say art. Let's take art. You do want your kid to know a little bit about art, even if it's not their thing. And so just pick up a book about art. Every once in a while, pick up a book. It could be either a general reference book like this one is, where you guys can just browse through all the different art styles, or, you can pick up a very focused one and study a artist and then do an activity that just mimics their style so that your kid can see if they like it, have fun, play around, not take it too seriously, not be like, if you don't do like this, then we are never like, nah. Don't throw that kind of stuff in there, but just lightheartedly pick up these books and then just do that regularly. Have a story time and activity time, And if your kid is passionate about something, you'll know it because they want to do it more. And then you start diving into that niche. So go broad with all the resources, try the dance class for free if you know that you have the budget, if they do love it, to continue on afterwards. Reading books, or try an online video about these different things and see what your kid is interested in. So many free options available that you do not have to spend a dime if you don't want to. The second tip I have for making your own homeschool curriculum for homeschool electives is to use your library. I cannot stress this enough. The library is my favorite place on the planet. It really is. There was like a meme a while ago that said, the library is the only place anymore that you can go there for free. Like, you're not expected to spend money there. And it's so true. And many times libraries, especially in bigger cities, offer classes for free and activities for free. Even now during the pandemic, ours has been sending out activity packets to go along with videos they put online, and we do them together, and it's so much fun. I love the library. But another reason why you go to the library is for all those books we talked about. For instance, my son really enjoys coding, and it's not because I taught him. It's not. I actually bought this book off Amazon. It was just this workbook. I got him for Christmas like a few years ago, and so they worked through it. And what it is just these little activities where, through a program online called Scratch, they learned how to code this one little activity, and then they went on to the next and they learned how to code the next activity. And then once they did that, they were able to pick up the skills they needed from each activity, that now he's able to create projects on his own. He's able to use the program and learn tutorials through that himself, and I don't have to do anything. It's wonderful. That's why you can create your own homeschool curriculum without even having to do it, because you're using your kids' interest as a guide. So go to your library, pick up more books like this. If they don't have books like this, you can probably request it from another library and they'll mail it to your library and you go pick it up. Just see what's available, because your library has so many things for free and you can get so much information for free, and they might even have online resources for free. So check out your library. My third tip for making your own homeschool curriculum for homeschool electives is to give them space to explore. You offer the bread, you lead the horse to water with the books or the classes, and then you give them time to explore. That is not you at the board saying, art history and this, like in the 1800s, and this turned into cubism and blah, 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 blah. Ugh, no, don't do that. Don't do that. But you, by giving them time to explore this, are giving them stuff that not many kids have anymore. Just time to play, time to come up with their own ideas, time to build that passion even more so. If they get bored with it, offer another book, but just giving them this time to work through and to practice and to do these things will help them so much more than you even realize, even though you're like hands off, not doing anything. Hello, you do have to eliminate all distractions. Like screen time might not be the time that they get out their art stuff or whatever it is that they're really passionate about. You just want to separate those, not be like, no, you can't do screens until you do art. You're going to have to figure that one out on yourself. I struggle with that. But one way, I guess the bonus tip is that I corral screen time to a certain time of the day. Like if they get all their schoolwork done from 12 to 4, which is so much screen time right now, but it's winter and we're not really out as much as usual. And then after 4 o'clock, they'll go and they'll do their other things like coding or art and all these crafts. So my fourth tip for making your own homeschool curriculum for homeschool electives is to set a routine. You don't want to be so rigid that they don't have the space to do their stuff, but honor that space that we just talked about that they get to explore those hobbies and they get to explore those electives. So set a routine. Maybe your routine is math, language arts, hobby, or math, language arts, electives, whatever that is. A way that we expose them to a lot of stuff in our house is I will do story time with our morning basket. So for us, they do math and on their own. And so I will do morning basket with them and story time. And then after that, we'll do like an activity if it called for one with our ideas that we came up with, or and then they'll go on to their language arts. Routine really lets them know that, hey, this is when we're going to do these things. And then if they want to go ahead and dive into these other electives on their own, yes, that's what I want. Because I want them to be self-initiated. I want them to want to learn. And so I want to give them the time to do that. And so they know about when that time is because of this routine. The fifth tip for making your own homeschool curriculum for homeschool electives is do not try to do it all, especially not all at once. You cannot do it all. You legit just can't. So don't try to stress yourself out. Try to be like, I want my kids to be so well-rounded. Yeah, you do, but you don't have to have them learning French poetry and pottery and cooking and like parenting classes. And it's too much. It's too much. And a lot of times life will just handle that all for you. So do not try to overwhelm yourself because you will burn out. Your child will burn out. They will not like it, and it'll cause problems within your relationship and also with their happiness and your happiness too. What are the things that your kids are passionate about? Comment below and let me know how you in your homeschool teach them those things. I'm so excited to hear from you guys, and I'm so excited to be back after maternity leave. Facebook, we got this. I will see you again next week. Bye.